Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. There is one thing I want to tell you before I begin this video. I recently read a blog on anime and it was pretty amazing, so I would recommend all of you to check it out as well. The link is in the description, and if you want to read all of this guy's blog, you can just check them out too. Just click on his profile. And with that said, let's begin the video. Well, as you have seen in the thumbnail and the title of the video, I don't really do these types of videos pretty often, and this is totally different than I usually do. So let's just dive into the topic. Indian TV industry, in the kids section especially, is dominated by some really stupid cartoons, and when I say stupid, I really mean it. If you ask me why, and if you are an Indian, then you are the dumbest person ever on the earth. I mean, come on, Indian cartoons do not make any sense at all. For example, there are a lot of kids cartoon, Chota Bheem, Mighty Raju, Little Singham, and all those stupid names. Okay, so now let's just go into the basic ideas of these shows. Okay, the point number one is the main character is an OP badass who really receives only beating in the first encounter, and in the second encounter or in the second round the MC just steals the show and just gets so much of power. In the same fucking episode he just defeats the same opponent in the same episode just at the second encounter without any power boosts. I just don't get this idea. The second point is that none but only the main character is the only intellectual character in the entire series who can defeat an opponent who is almost 8 times of his age. So basically, Indian cartoonists are spoiling the kids as much as they can through these shows which are so lame and earn their money. And if you notice in them, you will find these similarities. Number 1, there is no bloodshed. Number 2, there is no storyline. Number 3, the same plot over and over again. Number 4, no plot twists, awful music and sound effects, very bad animation, always the same looking characters, no change in the character design. Teaches no life lessons, the biggest thing which kids need at their age. I can go all day, but since we don't have that long, let's just proceed. Oh, even if I take away all the points, the scripting is really awful. The best example would be Chota Bheem. If you want to make me a video on Chota Bheem, I will do it, but it depends on how much you like this video. Let's say 20 likes will do. Well, all the shows are not that bad because some shows completely focus on their respective genres. For example, again the cockroaches, genre comedy fantasy. There are many other cartoons like those which are really entertaining the kids. They learn something, at least something. The fantasy section is it's likely to teach you something, at least something, not by these garbages. Seriously, how do they watch this? Well, Indian people think that anime is awful. The majority, I mean. But a few know what anime really is. Now, anime gives us a lot of life lessons and everything which a kid should learn at their respective ages. That is why the youth of India is so retarded. Now, if you people say that anime have dark content, I totally agree to that. But those are only for the teenagers and above 18. Now, when I say kid anime, or let me just tell you with these things. When I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of anime which used to come on TV. Good anime, brilliant animation. For example, in those times, there were Dragon Ball Z, Inazuma 11, Detective Conan, Ida Jump, and some very precious kid shows like Nardi, Oswald. Those two were the most entertaining kid shows I have ever watched in my entire life. Now, they can give really good life lessons to kids, but I don't know why these animes are not shown on a daily basis on TV anymore. Well, there are some animes which still exist in India till date. They are Pokemon, Shinchan, Doraemon, and Beyblade. And most of the kids are infatuated with these animes. Even I am infatuated with Beyblade still now. Yeah, I do not feel embarrassed accepting this fact. But these animes don't show much about the world or the negative emotions or about philosophy, which is good up to a certain year, up to 10 or 12 years, it's okay. But after they become teenagers, 13, 14, 15, you say, they should know more about the world and the human nature to tackle obstacles which may come in their life, which may resemble the obstacles which comes in the main character's life in the anime. One thing I would like to make clear, I'm not disrespecting my culture or anything or any of India's TV cartoons. I'm just trying to create an awareness that yeah, these are good, but up to 5, 6, 7, not more than 7. And I want all the other Indians and kids to know that Indian cartoonists can provide better. So you should ask for better shows. And that's when the Indian government is gonna listen to you, and only then you may get better and better shows which can teach you a hell lot more than Choda Bheem Mighty Royal Little Singer. You know, the main purpose of this video is to create an awareness about anime, because kids nowadays don't grow up watching something they should watch. Nowadays they watch this chunks of garbage which I as a person really don't like seeing, because when I was a kid I was so attached to these animes which I just mentioned back at those times, and now we don't get that anymore. Well, that's totally fine, we don't get that, okay, but they shouldn't just replace them by these Indian cartoons. This is just bad, too bad for kids. You should show them something which are very good. They have at least something good to learn. That is what kids in India need. The youth is so retarded because of these kids shows they watch on TV. TV is a very popular medium of spreading knowledge, spreading all types of emotions or anything you want to spread, because nowadays technology is so advanced and you can just go onto internet as well. You having so much comforts, you can just spread a message pretty easily nowadays, and this kid shows don't spread any good message. The messages are not too good, and as a person I really think that these kids shows should not be shown to to the kids, because it's ultimately harming the children. They're spoiling the kids, their imaginative power are reducing. So letting them watch anime is a very good and effective way to increase their learning capability and their imaginative way of thinking. Well, that's it for today's video, and if you are still struggling with the idea of anime, you can just read the blog which I mentioned earlier or at the beginning of the video. You can just read that, and well, that's it for today's video. And if you have any suggestion for future videos, just drop them in the comment section. I will be happy to see and oblige them. Well, this is the anime guy out.